What I was starting to say was I think the biggest challenge for the Farm Bill going forward right now is there's an element within what I would call Southern agriculture, Julie, which feels like the bill that has been reported from the Senate Agriculture Committee does not yet meet their needs. And so they are hesitant about seeing any further action going forward until there's some changes to address some of the concerns raised by Southern agricultural interests, particularly rice, peanuts, cotton to some extent. And that's will be a challenge we face before the bill probably sees a lot of additional action, is what can be done from their point of view to bring about a little more balance in the bill. If we get that balance, then I think there's a pretty good chance the full Senate will take this bill up shortly thereafter, and then we'll go over to the House and begin to work. It's a heavy lift in the House as well, but you know, you just take these things one step at a time and try and be heard and you know, move the process along. And that's, you know, how you do any farm bill, is you just take it and keep making your case and going forward.
Certainly the evolution as you move through it.
Yep. From my standpoint, Julie, if, you know, if we could just highlight for you part of what I've already said is one of the reasons that we feel like getting our message out in terms of Year of the Farmer Co-op is so valuable, is obviously among producers in the co-op, there's general recognition that there's a lot of value here, and I think almost without exception, our farmer owners, you know, recognize the value of the co-op, or else, you know, they wouldn't be involved in that. They had that recognition. Our message is a little bit broader. It's one to the consumers and to you know, a lot of folks in more, you know, rural parts of the world. I mean, we are the supplier of many jobs out there, and I mentioned, you know, 250,000 direct employees. You know, indirect employment much bigger than that. $200 billion of, you know, economic activity, over $200 billion for farmer-owned co-ops. I mean, you know, this is an economic engine that is driving a lot of our rural areas and providing benefits far beyond just that, you know, giving power and voice to the individual farmer, as important as that is. And we're trying to make this case and make sure that our legislative bodies do understand that, because we recognize that farming and ranching is becoming, you know, more and more of a small population out there, with, you know, less than 2% of our population directly engaged in that kind of activity, and that gets reflected in the Congress of the United States. And we have many members of Congress who are now several generations removed from the farm. In some cases, actually never been on the farm. But we're pointing out to them of, you know, see the guy on Main Street, you know, that's working and got a good job. Pretty good chance, you know, that there's some ties back to a farmer-owned co-op associated with that. And so, even though you may not directly represent a lot of farmers, that there's a lot of economic activity in your region associated with this industry, and, you know, we'll hope you support us when we need it. And Capper Volstead, that Greg mentioned, is a big chunk of that, but obviously a lot of other tax and farm policy and regulatory policy that we need in order to be that thriving business structure that's up for meeting those future needs that we talked about.